watch for the moves, they're not hard to find. Strong arm tactics so loud, only themselves in mind. Every player has dreams of making ORCA fame. They'll live on in the minds of those who get in their way. ORCA's all say, don't come for me. Mid-nurse roots, they're so vain. As we set up the podcast webcam, the pod is here to talk ORCA game. ORCA King CK with delusions of fame. In this LRG world, he's the apex predator. Danny and Jules in tow, always ready to go. Now it's time for the show, they're the apex predators.
Hello and welcome to the ORCA Pod, the Apex Predators of Australian Survivor LRG podcasting. Tonight is the culmination of an almost 3-year journey as we ambitiously embarked upon a task to recap and re-review every single season of Australian LRGs that had been released when we started the podcast 3 years ago. It was 11 seasons. It was 3 years. This is episode number 50 on this coverage, recapping all of these seasons. There's been a lot of long podcasts. Somehow Warren Diet was the longest one we ever did. I don't understand how that happened, but it was. Many of our guests tonight will be very happy with that outcome. We've had laughs. We've had amazing tea parties. ORCA awards have been handed out virtually, and now at some of our ORCA drinks handed out in person. It's been an incredible 3 years, and on the cusp of the release of Uncharted Waters, a season that everyone who's here today and who has been on the podcast many times has been a big part of. It's a very exciting time to be closing out our coverage of the ORCA Rank Down with the number one season as voted by you, the people, my season, Playing with Fire. And tonight we're getting to the awards. Now, for those who watch our coverage in the normal time, or watched it before, you'll see that what we usually do is I'll bring on production who will discuss with me who they think might win what award. And of course, the most award we give out, the most important award, is the Bromilow Medalist for ORCA of the season. Now, I am, of course, in the running this year for this prestigious award. So I can't necessarily hand that out myself. I don't know who the Congress have voted for. And certainly on the Tea Party, people were campaigning. Laurel was campaigning. Caitlin was campaigning. Annabelle put a whole pitch in about why she should get it. So there's no guarantees, and I do not know the answer of who has won the Bromilow Medalist for Playing with Fire. But before to announce that award, we'll do it first. We'll do it last because it's the most important. But so I can get Danny in and then get the others out, I'm going to bring in my lovely co-host who will be starring in the first episode of Uncharted Waters this Saturday night. Make sure you're there to watch it live on the interwebs because the live showing at the cinema is sold out. Amazing. But like lively others, here comes my fantastic co-host. I've been told to get this going. All right, we ready? And...
Hey, oh, little intro music there. I'm loving this. It's all new setup. Very, very nice. What
Thank
an
you.
exciting time to be part of Melbourne Survivor and the ORCA podcast. Very, very excited to finally wrap this up with you guys on number one. And then for you guys to come see my second outing. Yay!
You join a very exclusive group of people that have played in 2 seasons and in particular 2 franchises. So that becomes official. It's been known for a long time, but until it airs, it doesn't exist. So it becomes official on Saturday. You must be very excited.
Very, very excited. What we've seen so far, what Ma has put together, just looks incredible. I'm very, very excited to see it all come to fruition.
It does look incredible. I've always thought this season was going to really push some of the really incredible backyard seasons in terms of production quality. So it'll be really interesting to see how it all comes out. Now, the reason we have you here, of course, I can't present this award. I don't know who's won it. Now, there were a number of contenders. Who got
Yes.
votes before we get to
Who
the
got votes?
outcome?
Well, I mean, you had votes. Your campaign was very well headed. You got votes. I mean, all the people that campaigned on the Tea Party, you, Annabelle, Laurel, and Caitlin were the four top contenders for this season, which I don't think is a surprise to anybody. The four most ORCA of this season, the four standouts for most narcissistic, pushy play, ticking most of the boxes all along the way. So, yes. But look, with no further ado, it's not a surprise. The ORCA of all ORCAs, our Bromilow Award winner is you, CK. Of course, who could it be but anybody else?
Well, I'm very honoured.
Surprise, to nobody's shock, to nobody's sadness, the ORCA of the ORCAs.
I'm surprised. This was a hotly contested award. Hotly contested.
Yeah, I know, but
I think
no one can out-ORCA the ORCA. You are the ORCA of all ORCAs, and this award is official. It's officially yours. It's no longer self-proclaimed. It has been voted by the Congress, voted by the fans. CK is ORCA of Melbourne.
I would like to thank you. I would like to thank 3 particular people for this award who drove me to my utmost ORCA nature. What's really funny, and we'll go to this later, but I actually had a sneak peek at my interview for Melbourne Survivor earlier today, and I discussed with them how the way I was going to play the game, which was to be like very subtle and controlled in the group, and then like snarky in confessionals, and that I would be fading into the background. But of course, I immediately met Annabelle. I'm like, oh, this person's just going to, she's huge. I'm going to be huger than her. Let's go. We're going to compete for who can be the biggest. So I need to thank Annabelle for like pushing me really early to be that big. And then I really need to thank my other 2 strong competitors for this award. I do think the most poignant moments for me deserving this award came at the merge. Firstly, when I pushed Caitlin, didn't physically push her, but cornered her against a wall, telling her that she had to vote out Laurel or otherwise she wouldn't win the game. And it was quite strong-arming. And of course, we need to give thanks to Laurel for deciding to fake pretend to have an advantage or to have the clue to an advantage and run for it so that I would chase. She knew very well that I would chase, and she absolutely got one on me there. But that behavior was the sort of ORCA behavior that I think created the concept. James Wolfe may have created the name, but I feel like I somewhat created the concept on that fateful day.
Yeah, and you heard it, you took it, you ran with it, and now it's official. So congratulations.
Thank you. I look forward to the next ORCA drinks in Melbourne. Hopefully the People's Champion is selected, and whoever they are, hopefully they finish top 5. And if they do, there will be ORCA drinks. So we'll be handing out my own potential ORCA award on that occasion. Thank you, Danny. I'll do the rest of the awards with the production crew, but thank you for coming on and for handing this award. I appreciate it.
It is my honor. It is my honor and my pleasure. Bye, guys.
So as I mentioned before, I had to show this little video. Because this is so poignant, right? 5 years ago, I think roughly 5 years ago, I was interviewed to be on Melbourne Survivor. I think it's about that time period. And it's so poignant that the people who interviewed me for that are now the 3 people that I'm going to have on the final podcast of our rank down. It's like destiny. It's serendipitous, the way this has come together to start my journey there and to finish our countdown journey here. But I got a little video of my interview. It's a pretty famous moment of the interview. Now, I've told this story a few times, and I've said in the past that it was at the end, that it was like, do you have any questions for us? And then I asked this question. That was my memory of how it went down. That was a faulty memory. I literally brought this up 2 minutes into the interview, which I think just shows the sort of ORCA behavior I was demonstrating to them. Yeah. Here it is. Let's watch it.
But why didn't you play your idol, Liz?
Excuse me?
You had an idol, right? Like the half super idol?
Well, sometimes I just like to risk it for the biscuit, all right? All right. Okay,
They made the edit look like this. You should have known you were going, but maybe you didn't.
Yeah. No, I knew it was a high chance I was going. It was not a calculated risk.
What an I love all of that. I love how Vince is trying to ask me real questions, and all I want to do is give Liz some criticism for the idle play. I love Liz's response to it, which is so genuine. It's like it wasn't a master strategy move. Spectacular. I'm so glad to get that little bit of footage to bring it back. So without further ado, let me bring in the people that are joining me. The people that, if it weren't for these people and their genius casting of this person, this lovely face, on Playing with Fire, it wouldn't be the number one season. No, it probably still would be. But we wouldn't be here today doing this podcast without these three people. So without further ado, let me first bring in the host and creator of Playing with Fire, of Melbourne Survivor, one of the foundation members of this entire LRG community, and judge on like the Australian Survivor Hall of Fame for some reason. That's such a get. Like, how did she get that? It's an incredible achievement that she's just perpetually going to have. That's how recognized she is in the Australian Survivor community. Let me bring in, without further ado, roll. Liz, welcome.
Hello. Yeah, I don't know if the Australian Hall of Fame is that much of a flex, but
Isn't it? Who else is judging these Hall of Fames other than you in this committee?
I feel like you wouldn't know a few of the other people on there as well.
Aren't there real like survivors on it? Like people that actually like have played?
Naomi from like the first season, like Whalers Way. And Matt Dyson, first boot of season 3.
Was he the police officer?
5 or whatever.
Was he the police officer? Matt Dyson? Yeah. I remember him. It's a real crew of real people. Are you guys still voting on the Hall of Fame?
No, I think it's on hold for a bit. But we'll see. It'd be cool if it came back.
I would say there's been a surprising amount of attention to, what do you call it, Whalers Way. A lot of attention on that season, which was not good. It killed Survivor for like 10 years in this country. Yeah. Like I watched that in the real time. It was bad.
It was a lot better than the celebrity one.
I actually hard disagree with you on that.
Disagree. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting take. Maybe you should be on this the Hall of Fame.
Well, what I like about the celebrity is that woman from Home and Away who won was like a good Survivor player. Like it was just like Pia 0. You know, Pia was her 2.0 or 1.0, but she was the pre-Pia.
We didn't have a female winner.
Yeah, didn't the woman from Home and Away win?
No.
Who won?
It was that dude.
No, I thought
it was like 2 dudes, and they'd like
there was the douchey dude who was like a member of One Nation or Family First or some shit.
Yeah. No, he wasn't at the end.
And he was the villain, and he got his comeuppance. Like, you know, he didn't win.
Yeah.
But he was douchey and so the story was good. He didn't win. You didn't want him to win. He didn't win. Maybe I'm wrong. This was a long time ago.
Yeah.
He was the ORCA of the season, though, that guy, the douchey politician. All right. Well, I'll bring in your other executive producers. Why don't you tell me a little bit, before we bring them in, about the decision, you made season 2. It was a big success for the time. And then you've decided to move to season 3. And a lot of the people that you had helping you with season 2, they went away. So you're looking for new people. Is that right?
Yes, but also there just weren't enough people helping in season 2. Like a few people didn't rock up and such. It's hard to find people, especially at that stage, because you're trying to describe it and you're like, and it's a lot of work and a lot of effort. So yeah. Oh, I think you're muted.
I am sorry. It's because I'm coughing. You found these two people who played in prior season, and you asked them to come in and help you run this show. Let me bring in these two wonderful people. The first one is unforgettable, the infamous first boot from season 2, the probably most prominent and known first boot in the LRG community. I think he will tell you his boot episode has potentially more views than a lot of other seasons. And he went out hard. He went out firing. He's the man, the myth, the legend himself. Let's bring in JB.
Hello, everyone. So I don't understand how you can remember me, but you can't remember Guy Leach.
Guy
Is that the
Leach,
guy?
that's his name.
That's a guy.
See, maybe you
That's
should know
crazy.
his name as well.
That's crazy. This
That's
intro has
'cause I
been
wa-
amazing, by the way.
The
I love the
intro.
sounds of Ashley on a Wednesday night, you know.
For
She's-
real,
she's
for
got a
real.
soothing
So
voice.
good.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
I like you. You have a golden coin neon light now to go along with your golden coin creator subtitle.
Thank you. Yeah, that's pretty cool, I must say.
How is the golden
Um,
coin going?
Shameless plug, but I am putting applications out for a film season the 1st of January.
You know you're going to get like everybody in the community like flooding you
Ah,
with advice. Do you want fresh
100%.
faces or do you want fresh faces or do you want like
Oh
people that are-
no, I want I want chaos, and I will pick chaos. Yeah, I don't have a preference on anything other than chaos.
and
that's
you know
what I want.
newbies don't always bring the chaos. Newbies can be safe sometimes. Tara's
They
here
can.
live, so, and she's obsessed with my soundboard, and she likes your sign too. And there's one more person to bring in, the Banana Man, the man in the banana shirt, as he was known at the time, as was his episode title. It was such a star of season 2 that I actually had forgot that he went pre-merge. Like, he's so big in the season that it's crazy that he actually doesn't make the merge. And, that perhaps contributes somewhat to the back end of that season being a bit dull. But, right up into the merge, it's very high quality. And he is a huge part of that. He's snapping his fingers. Let me just make sure I get his drum roll.
Hey, I'm back.
Here we are again, the four of us, reunited 5 years ago as we were when you interviewed me for Playing with Fire. Before we get into talking about everything that went into the Playing with Fire production, we've got the awards to give out. I've already been bestowed with the Bromilow Medal for ORCA of the season, but there are other awards. They're of lesser importance, but they're still worth handing out. So I'll go to you guys, and you guys can tell me who you think. These are purely fan voted on the poll. Okay, so who was the MVP of the season? I will tell you that 5 different contestants received votes for this. Who do you guys want to lock in? Who do you think?
Surely,
Hey,
I was going to say surely Laurel, but surely Caitlin's also up there.
See, I'm thinking more pre-merge, and if they made the merge, they probably would have won.
Oh,
So,
yeah, like Mar?
My thoughts, yeah, that's my thought.
But there is a separate award for the best pre-merge player.
Oh, okay,
So-
well, I'll change my pick then.
But then it's called the Annabelle Award, and it's like
Yes.
Yeah.
Annabelle.
Annabelle has
Annabelle
to
going to win it.
Yeah. I think
so you
Mar.
think-
I actually still think Mar. Yeah.
Okay.
Mar was
and-
my pick, and I was very devastated when she was voted out.
And what do you think, Vince?
I'm gonna
Kate.
go Laurel.
Kate.
I'm going
Okay.
Kate.
Yeah. Kate received 5.5% of the vote, which also John received, and also Scott. But I'm pretty sure Scott voted for himself. But we love that.
Love that.
We love Scott.
And Caitlin, with almost 50% of the vote, was the MVP. But surprisingly, and it may be the nature of this being my own podcast, putting out the poll, I managed to pip Laurel for second, which I don't know if I truly deserve. But anyway, I didn't even vote for myself. I voted for Caitlin.
How many different emails do you have, CK, to vote yourself?
Yeah,
every
look,
time?
I'm baffled by this myself. I don't deserve to be second place over Laurel. It certainly should be Caitlin, then Laurel, and then a toss up with me and Kate. So I agree with what you guys were talking about in terms of potential. But it's obviously Caitlin. She's the absolute star of the season. All right. The Annabelle Award for Best Pre-Merge Boot. I've got a little bit of a sad fact here. Only one person didn't get any votes.
Are we
Sorry,
meant to
Vince,
guess
you're
who it
muted,
is?
Are we meant to guess the person?
I don't want to guess that because that's really.
You guess who actually who was the best pre-merge boot? Who wins the Annabelle Award?
I mean, if
Is it
Annabelle
Annabelle?
doesn't win the Annabelle Award,
I think
there's something.
Annabelle.
Yeah,
But it could be Emma as well. But...
could be
Yeah,
Ma,
Ma or
Ma
Annabelle.
Rosie Annabelle. Ma Rosie Annabelle.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
true.
true. Yeah.
Yeah. But if
So
it's not
Annabelle-
Annabelle, we riot.
Annabelle
I'll lock in
received
Annabelle.
50% of the vote for her own award. She was the best pre-merge boot. I think she was the best pre-merge character, and I think her boot is such an iconic moment on the season that it's her boot is super relevant to the story, which I think is also sometimes factors in to how relevant you are as a character. But next was Ma, and then Scott, who got 3 votes. So somebody else is voting for him as well, which besides himself, which is very nice for Scott.
I may have
Marina
voted Scott.
First Boots United. And then Marina and Rosie received votes, but poor old Ashley did not. Sorry, Ash. Sorry, bro.
He'll be fine with that.
Now, this is a huge testament to the incredible job the 3 of you did casting this season. This is the which one-time player would you like to see again? So John and Ma were excluded from this poll, given that people have had the chance to see them play again by the time they were voting on this. So of the 14 remaining, 9 got votes. 9 of those people, of the 14, the voters would like to see play again. That's how good your casting was for this season. And there's a real even split of votes across this. There's ties for first, there's ties for second, there's ties for third. Who do you think's tied for first? With about 16% of the vote.
Annabelle. Annabelle and Ma.
Caitlin.
Ma's ineligible because she has played another
Oh,
time.
you're right.
She'll be-
Yeah. Annabelle and Caitlin.
yeah, so
Yeah.
maybe Caitlin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay,
Annabelle,
so
Caitlin, Lorette.
Maybe Kate. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
all right. So I'll start from the third places. At 6% of the vote, people want to see Kate, Tash, and Rosie play again. Then
Nice.
that's third place. Second place with about 12%, we have Annabelle, we have Laurel, and we have Brady, who's here live. Hello, Brady. 12% would like to see you play again. And then at 16%, tied again, Caitlin, of course, myself. Look at this love. Look at the love. And Scott, once again, top spot. I don't know how many accounts Scott set up for the purpose of this voting, but he people want to see the man. They want to see him, the man with the legend. All right. Yes, Brady, you came in. You were second, equal second. 12% of people want to see you play again. It's pretty good. Is this season the best? Too high, too low, or just right in the rankings? Where do you think people felt? Was it right to be the best, or was it not right to be the best?
Too high.
Too
Too
high
high.
from
I
Vince?
think it's in the right spot, obviously.
To be honest, if we
But
don't
I
claim
think
first
people
place,
disagree.
we should claim first place. Like, we worked our ass off for this, I must say.
Yeah.
Scott is undeniable, he says. Scott's return is inevitable. The people want it. The fans want it. It must
Steelers.
occur.
You know what to do. All Stars, me and Scott team captain.
All stars.
It's already happened.
All Stars
Let's do it.
with the first boot captains.
Wow, pressure's
yeah,
on.
We could also bring back Sonia. We always wanted to bring back Sonia. All first boot captains.
Sophia, do you mean?
Yeah, Sophia. That's right. Sorry, sorry, Sophia. Almost 60% of respondents think that it should be the number one. So the votes cast 3 years ago that made it number one are still here today saying that that decision was correct. So very
Love
positive.
that. Yeah.
And the final one, and I want to hear. We'll get into what you said before, just then, Josh, about the amount of work that went into it and why it should be number one. But the final one we have is of a scale of 1 to 11, 1 being the best. Where would you rank John's game compared to that of the other 10 LRG winners?
I feel like it's got to be. I don't know if I fully understood the number system, but it's got to be like pretty
Yeah.
because you went to every single tribal
High
council.
will be like
Every
Above
tribal without a
9.
vote. Am I right?
Yeah,
Every
he
tribal,
got votes.
Uh,
He went
yeah.
to every single tribal council, which I don't think is.
No other
He only
winners done
got
that.
I don't think. But yeah.
I think he only got votes on the merge vote. I think that's it.
It was like one boot pre-merge. They might have got like.
I think Caitlin vote. Caitlin.
Ashley's vote.
No, he doesn't get votes on the actual one. Caitlin does.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Yeah.
So he only gets votes. It's the merge vote, and then Caitlin votes for him,
Remember that.
and that's it. It's pretty amazing.
I would put it like third.
I rank it pretty highly, but this averages out, and the average has put it around 5.41, which actually puts him in about the mid tier of winners. The winners now, all 11 locked in over the voting system. Last place was Toby. I don't think Toby's game is actually really great. If you go back and watch my deep dive I did with him 3 years ago, it was an incredible game, but it's hard to judge something that isn't really there on the video. Then it was Nick, who I think was judged down for a shorter season and for the fact that they knew each other and those sorts of factors. Then it was Jake, for obvious reasons, for why he gets voted down despite a fairly strong game, controversial winner. Next was Sally, which I think, she's if her or Amy or Tyrone had won, they're all about the same. So it was a bit of a mixed group of an alliance that won. Then the rest of the winners are all really solid. Like I'm going to say the next name and you go, he should be higher. But you'll say this about all of them, which is a really great credit to the winners of LRGs. Salvador follows them. Then John fits in there. Then Jeremy. John, Jeremy, and Salvador are 0.1 different. 0.01 different. So all about the same. Then Sam. Then Jay, then Halim, and Mara is considered the best winner, which I think is understandable with the dominant game that she played in Canberra. So that's all of the votes. Thank you to everyone that voted across the course of this rank down. They voted for the original seasons. They voted in the votes. It's been so great to have everyone's input into this voting. Now, we've got you here. You've made the greatest season of all time, as it was at the time of voting. Josh said a lot of work went into it. I remember arriving and thinking, well, after you made me wait for about 5 hours and I was just sitting and we couldn't talk to each other. After that, which I wasn't super impressed with, I remember arriving and thinking, wow, these guys it feels like you've really stepped up your game from season 2. That was my initial feeling as a player. Tell us about everything that went into it.
Maybe I'll start from when these guys approached me. She said I asked them to. I didn't really. They approached me at Warrandyte, and I was just really impressed with how they were both helping out and basically joining the crew, and getting things happening. Even though they were earlier boots, they didn't just wallow and go home. They got stuck into things and offered their help for the next season, which I was very grateful for because I needed people who were down to do all the planning and and down to discuss any like twists and how logistics things would work and all of that. And so they're also keen to really step it up to the next level and see what we could do. My only thing was like, I want to have fire at this one, and then they took it like way beyond that. Like, here's all the other things that we can do, and kind of made it happen. So yeah.
So when you said the other things we can do, are we talking about the game mechanics, twists, those sorts of things?
Yeah, like challenges as well. Vince actually made a few challenges from cardboard, and JP made one in lockdown, which was the Michelle challenge where she kicks it down, and we still use that all the time, and it looks so good on camera. I think that was a big thing of like making things like look like good, and yeah.
I have a question for Josh. I still feel like watching the edit on that those aren't actually even, like they don't actually line up. Am I right or wrong about that?
Look, I'm not good with woodwork. In my head, they're even. You know what I mean? You know.
Could you
there is a
actually
way to
balance-
work. There is actually a way to get them to be even. However, I think the wood may have like sweltered with water. So now it's not even.
Okay.
But in saying that, though, they do look quite good on camera still to this day.
Tara
they
said,
do line up Tara.
Tara's saying they do not line up.
I had a photo with them lined up, and then we lost the photo. I don't know where it went, but it does exist somewhere in the world.
Can I,
Vince,
regards of the challenge, the cardboard I made. So it was it was written correctly for the colors. You know, you guys spend so much time to actually figure that out. But because Josh was in charge of painting it, he painted them all the same. Every boxes are the same, like on the color on the same side. So that's why it took so long to solve it. So yeah, that's a behind the scene little bit tidbits.
Yeah, when I looked at it, we lost the paperwork. We lost the paperwork, so I didn't have his plan. So I had to.
Lost it, knowing me.
I had to come up with the idea that you could solve it only one way, and that's what I thought it was. So I made one pattern that can only be solved one way. Hence why the puzzle went for like an hour and a half, because you've got 6 sides on each cube, and you've got 4 cubes. So there's so many different ways it could go. Also, the fact that it was dark, it was raining. To start off with, somebody
contributor.
Yeah,
because I've done that. Like I've seen it be done in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So we did.
I could do it in 2 minutes now.
Trial, and they also really struggled. So
it was.
I think
it was perfectly fine.
Yeah.
It's fine, Josh. It's fine because once you actually know how to solve it, once I suggested to the group that we count the colors and found out that one color only had 5 squares, it was super easy to solve. We solved it in like 30 seconds after that. So the solve is actually really easy if you use your brain as opposed to trying to brute force it.
That's what I did. I made it backwards, if that makes sense. So like,
yeah,
I made the pattern and then I painted it, and then I just painted whatever for the other sides.
Can I just say, Josh, you could have just texted me and asked for the plan. But anyway, let's just.
I do want to own up to it, Vince. I do want to own up to it. You know what I mean?
Brady said it felt epic at the time. It was so epic that Brady was very upset at the end when we won, and he kicked over the blocks. And then you told him off, Vince. You told him off hard. Vince, you muted, mate.
We're gonna reuse that. Sorry. I was like, we're gonna reuse that. Obviously, we're not gonna.
You're like, we're gonna reuse that.
I don't know
where
it went.
Hard work into that.
Oh,
you were very angry at Brady for kicking them over. And then later on, when you were telling Caitlin to kick over the Michelle Fitzgerald, you're like, Brady's like, what? She kicked those? I can't kick these.
Those are wood.
They would. Like,
hey, the cardboard's still intact.
let's talk about some of the game decisions that were made throughout the season that have been discussed at length. So, do you think that you'd ever expect two tribes to name themselves? Is this why tribes aren't allowed to name themselves in Survivor until the merge? Do you think this is the reason?
I think it's because there's the playing with fire thing, and then we have two people who can. That's probably why.
I think
The
it was Vince. Sorry.
Yeah, we did lose him briefly. How was it for you guys in production when you were informed that both tribes had decided to name themselves Flego the night of the first night?
I think we were stoked, right? It was the funniest thing ever.
It was so good.
Yeah, everyone on crew, we were all like talking about it and just being like, "Oh my gosh!"
It was memorable. I must say, Liz, when we arrived with the flags, you do a good job of acting surprised, because it seems like you didn't know that was going to happen.
Wow.
In that challenge, there is an idol hidden. TK, it's Fugo. Am I saying it wrong?
Yeah, it's Fuego. Fuego.
What am I saying? What have I been saying?
Fuego or Fuego.
Frugo.
I'm not from Spanish. Fuego, sorry. You had a hidden idol at the first challenge. You had a hidden idol at the second challenge, and the idea was that you could play with fire and get this one-time idol for that tribal council. And I was thinking, is this going to continue throughout the rest of the season? But it sort of just stopped after the second challenge. What was that always the plan, just to do it in two, or was it? What was the thinking?
I feel like that would have been something we had a lot of debate over. I think JP would have been looking for like something every round, and then me and Vince maybe were more like, "Oh, but logistics, how do we do it?"
Yeah,
Stress.
my thought was, if the season's playing with fire, why don't we have something that might force somebody to play with fire each round and sort of have the theme based around that, which I think is cool still to this day. But anyway, 2v1.
I don't think it matters.
So it wasn't claimed on the first challenge, so you thought you would then put it again. All right. You've received a lot of criticism over the years for the tug of war challenge. I have no problem with the tug of war challenge.
Criticism? Everyone loves it.
People don't like how short it is. Like they think that it should have been 1-on-1 or 2-on-2 or best of 3 or something. Like
we spent so long making that rope as well. Like
I mean, in defense, like Red Fago voted off Scott. I mean, like he was probably their beef powerhouse. And then what a strength challenge straight up. I mean, it's on Red Fuego in my brain.
Did you think that it would have been better to have Canberra Survivor when they have tug of wars? There's a lot of 1-on-1, or you could do like 2-on-2, 2 guys versus 2 guys. You could do a girl and a guy versus a girl and a guy, 2 girls, 2 girls. There's a lot of different permutations you could do to extend the challenge and give everyone more like ownership of their various parts. I still think Yellow would have won, but like no matter what pairs you put up there, but I think that it could have been more interesting.
Remember, we have a puzzle that they can complete.
Yeah, that was.
So I don't know how we're gonna do that with versus 1-1 versus 1v1 or 2v2. So
it was such a cool idea as well, to have a puzzle, and I don't know.
The idea was amazing. I always backed that idea, but we can't help the fact that one team completely overpowered the other. But I expected people. I actually expected someone yellow to run to the puzzle, but it didn't happen.
We were united. But we were a united group.
But how did it over? And it's just bizarre. I have no idea now. I don't know how it ended in 1 second. But
well, I don't know if the other side had any strategy. To be honest, we strategized. We'd all watched Squid Game. This was post Squid Game, wasn't it? The point was
no.
It was pre-Squid Game.
Pre-Squid Game.
I was aware that the most important thing to do in a tug of war is to actually not pull immediately and to hold and let them use their strength, which we were doing, but we were still pulling and winning, even though we weren't actually pulling. And so then I just started shouting out pull, but you need someone to shout out pull in a rhythmic, like pull, pull, pull. You need everyone to pull at once, and then you just win. And they had no plan. They had nothing on the other side.
Also, this sounds like fake news. I heard it was all Annabelle, that challenge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Annabelle claimed it, but I kind of feel it was me and Max. But anyway, let's give it to Annabelle and Brady, of course.
I do think
Brady, like Max. You Vince.
Sorry, I was just gonna think maybe we could have like test run, like get everyone sort of test run a little bit, because I think when we say go and then just just over like that, could have next time we could have test out a little bit, like just test it out your string and adjust a little bit so to make it last longer.
And look, another controversial moment of this season, and the blame has been cast before, and here's the official time to lay that blame on whoever is responsible. People think that this is the most egregious swap that's ever been done in Survivor history, the methodology to the swap, how it was determined. Stuff you, Tara. Like, it was... I don't know. I needed to be more into myself in the post-challenge confessional, obviously, like Annabelle was. That was my mistake. The swap, whose idea was it? Let's take ownership. Who thought that it was a good idea to let two guys, a girl and a guy, or a guy and a guy, whatever we end up getting, two girls is what we got, choosing their entire tribes? What was the thing?
I thought it was a great idea. I'm not sure if I understood quite how it worked, and so it might have been on me that I might have explained it poorly.
It's JP.
It's my idea. It's my idea. Yeah.
If it's bad, it's JP. Yeah.
Hey, it's not as bad as your voodoo idol, which we'll talk about later. But look, I think
we won't talk about the voodoo idol, Vince.
We will be talking about the voodoo idol soon.
I do think that being the first season that me, Vince, and Liz sort of did together, all of these ideas that came out, we all sort of just like agreed that people can have their own sort of thing and movie, yeah. And then that's how it sort of happened. We have learnt so much from this season. Like, I have learnt so much from this season about doing another season, and not the looks, Vince. I have learned so much from this season that I think moving forward, you'll see in other Melbourne Survivor seasons, it's changed a lot, and there is not so much outrageous situations happening. Yeah. Well,
we can be clear without making anything that's a spoiler, because both Josh, Vince, myself, and John thought about what things we would put in Uncharted Waters, and we were very careful in that season to not have anything that was overly overpowered or overbalanced. We were very careful about that, because I had like voodoo idol PTSD, and I was like, we can't do these to be. So I agree. I think you've definitely, and working with you on Uncharted Waters for those issues, I think that you've definitely improved that. Let's go to the voodoo idol. I'm actually a slight defender of the voodoo idol, even though it was my downfall, because, and I'll say this: if I had gotten it, and I was planning to drop out for the next advantage. Sadly, my weak little arms that were not as strong as I thought I was shaming myself, shaming my personal trainer. I dropped the bucket earlier than I should, but I was going to drop it at the next thing. And that doesn't mean Caitlin wouldn't have beat me to it, but I would have been in the running for it. So if I had gotten it, if I had the voodoo idol, that's really interesting for the merge. Do I play it on me? Do I play it on Max? Like, who do I play it on, knowing that one of us is getting the votes? One wrong move and I'm out. One right move and, like, the game is in my hands. Like, it could have been really an interesting mechanism for the merge that wasn't super interesting for when Caitlin ended up using it.
That's very awkward of you, CK, to talk about yourself.
I agree with you, CK. That's what I was thinking. Great my things alive.
It could have been great. It probably should have been merge only. That's probably the one short change you could have made to made it like really impactful. Merge only.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Like, I don't hate the idea of the Voodoo Idol. I just think it's just like, if I want you gone, you're gone. It's. I think that's the issue. But in saying that, though, all these really bad twists, and this is the number 1 season. Just saying, like maybe there's
only two bad twists.
Yeah, but maybe it did wonders.
It's not like it's.
This is the thing. The overpowered twist gives you the then like Laurel flip, and then the emotional roller coaster of them constantly losing, which is actually more interesting than both sort of tribes going to merge a lot, right? Going to tribal, because emotively, it's a hell of a story. Whereas if each tribe's just going to tribal councils, it's interesting strategically, possibly, but it's not the emotional roller coaster you get to go on with the red tribe. And ultimately being Caitlin and John's story being in the final 4, it's amazing. And we wouldn't have got that without the overpowered swap. And the Voodoo sort of womps out, like, doesn't really matter in the end. The one other one that gets some controversy is the double tribal, which I think is good, but people have complained, as in Danny and Jules.
This one
they don't like that you didn't give someone a chance for immunity. We don't want a Nick Canberra situation. Kate shouldn't have just been immune for 2 tribals because she won one challenge. That's ridiculous. And I know time is the issue, but was there a thought of having like a little quiz or a touchy subjects or something there at tribal to get another challenge in there?
I don't think there was any time. Yeah, the only reason why that twist was in there, like that was like a backup thing of like if we run out of time. So that was there because we ran out of time, and like no one wanted that twist.
What would have been the other challenge?
We were all against the twist, but we had to implement it. Otherwise, we would have been there till like 1 a.m. And
I do have some ideas. I do know, like, there are some things we could have done to save on time. Because having done all these like trial games like later, there's all these things that come up to save time because you only have a day. And like things like having 2 voting booths. So setting people off at the same time to vote, and like just things, little time savers that all add up. There's definitely like different ways that we could have done it that would have made it more fair, and not resulted in Tasha's robbery. But we didn't have all of that experience and trialing up our sleeves at that time. So
was double earn put forward as
double earn. Well, this is probably part of how.
No, this wasn't even spoken about. It wasn't even talked about before then.
Brady's.
But this is I love double earn. I love double earn. It's like
double earn's fantastic.
Yeah.
We do need to get out the archive because we do have another challenge plan for that we didn't even use. So,
what was the challenge? What would it have been?
Somewhere. I don't know. It's somewhere in the document, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the challenge?
I can't remember. Too many.
Okay, that we talked about on the day. Now, what I think worked and what worked for this season, why it's so high, is that the cast is so strong. I think it's pretty agreed upon that it's a pretty amazing cast with a lot of fantastic characters, and the people that are perhaps the more introverted players or the not as big players are still really good, interesting characters. Did you know, like, and I've done casting before, and sometimes like you don't know if these people are going to pop or not. Finding the right mix of people that are going to be the right interaction. When you were in the casting for this, did you have a confidence that this cast was going to pop in the way that it did?
Yeah, I think we did.
We had a great mix
strong,
a great mix of personalities. Like everyone from every single walk of life, pretty much. We done really well. I would put it up there as probably the best cast in LRGs that I've seen. I don't know if that's just tooting my own horn, but I think everybody can agree and disagree on that. But yeah,
people like people would different from how we expected in some ways for some people. Like yourself, CK, we thought would be not as much of a villain. We thought I'd go to
I told you I'd be a villain.
Yeah, but we just didn't
told
really
you.
believe you. We were
Do
like,
we-
oh, he's gonna like try and move
Liz,
on.
that's not what you said. I remember you said
Do we
something
have the
else.
video? I want to know if the video still exists. Remember, we went to the library.
Yeah,
Yeah, you had that
And we-
footage. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
Oh,
where it
yeah.
is. We had
Yeah.
footage of us like the
Cast
cast
assessment,
being
yeah.
picked and stuff, and we did our own cast assessment of the cast
Yeah.
before the
Okay.
game started.
hmm
Yeah.
And I don't know where this footage is gone because I would love to rewatch it.
Yeah,
and-
I probably would have it.
Do you
but
guys still remember your
would
winner
have had it,
pick?
but I don't know.
Your winner pick at that time, before we even met them.
Yeah.
Mine's
I
Marina.
don't.
Yeah, mine was Ma. And hey, it
Yeah,
worked out.
yours or mine, I remember.
I can't remember mine. I want to say
Yours
it
probably
was-
Scott. I think yours probably Scott.
Mine was not Scott. I love you, Scott, but mine
No,
was
I think
not
it
you.
was.
No, it was not Scott. Okay, just because we're first boots.
No, because he had the same KFC order as you.
Oh no, he did have the same KFC order as me. I
That was
remember.
a
Scott
big
loves
point in the
KFC. He's got a
discussion.
KFC
Yeah.
onesie. He loves it. It's like his favorite fast food, which I find weird. I'm more of a Hungry Jack's guy. Now some of the biggest characters. Tell me the player that surprised you the most. Like who was a interesting, big, whatever player that you didn't expect to be as good as it ended up being. Can you remember who you had low
I think maybe-
expectations for?
Maybe Kate, because she hadn't seen Survivor. We kind of maybe saw her as like Annabelle's like +1. Like, we were like, oh, she's cool, she's fun, but and like she'll be good at challenges, but didn't think that she'd have like such the social and strategic like pull that she did, where she was like, you know, boss of the Red Tribe, basically. Like, I think John described her as like the Regina George of this tribe, which she loves.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Mine
Well,
was
John
probably-
also. I would say that John also described when I did his interview. His game plan was to pony up with the alpha of the tribe and sort of hide behind them. And he was eyeing me off on the pre sort of tribe allocation moment for that person, and he obviously wasn't on a tribe with me. And I said, "Well, why did you not go with Scott?" And he's like, "Scott wasn't the alpha there; it was Kate." So I did it with Kate instead. Now, tell us about Kate's. I want to hear your answer, Josh. But tell us about the recruitment of Annabelle and how Kate was the +1. I've heard this story, but you guys can tell this story to the masses that don't know it. Annabelle didn't apply to be on Melbourne Survivor. She was
No,
recruited, right?
Annabelle was like semi-recruited. with
Yeah,
a-
we had a
Wait,
separate
I thought
she
form,
replied-
right?
She
No.
applied, guys. She applied.
She applied after we
She
asked
applied in,
her.
like, the recruit for
Who asked?
Yeah.
I didn't
two
ask.
forms. You
Liz
remember?
reached
We
out to
had,
her.
like, the
Oh yeah,
'cause we
Liz
had
reached
all
out.
our
Yeah.
questions that we wanted to ask, and then we had like the shortened version for people we just like would want it on, but we wanted to like make them get all their details in.
Yeah, and Annabelle was sort of like, "I want Kate with me," or it's like sort of not happening. And
Yeah,
to be
that
honest,
was the vibe.
and Kate's game was amazing, and
yeah.
like it wasn't a
When
bad
Anna-
decision at all.
When Annabelle said she was like she'd only come on if she could bring a friend, did you have the awareness that this friend was actually a completely sort of different personality to Annabelle, another amazing strong woman, but in a completely different way? Like, or were you thinking you're getting two Annabelles? What did you think you were getting?
Well, we interviewed her, so we kind of knew what Kate, she is.
Yeah.
But I don't think Annabelle specifically said you have to cast Kate with me, otherwise I won't
Yeah.
play.
Yeah.
But it's just sort of
It's the vibe.
implied, like it's not like this is the deal. But she wouldn't know come if Kate's not there. So
I think it's good you bring up that questionnaire. I remember filling out that questionnaire, and it had way too many fucking questions. I think it took me. It was like an exam. It's like a law school
You can
exam.
say, that is
Guy-
Vince for you. Sorry.
Yes, because if you're not gonna do that thing, you're not gonna come to Melbourne. Like seriously,
Yeah, we didn't
how
want
much
people
commitment
who
you're gonna
wouldn't
put?
rock up.
Yeah,
Did you
yeah.
actually read the
That's
answers?
what we learned.
Did you
What
actually
was
read
that?
them? Did you actually read the
Yes.
answers?
We
You
skipped.
did?
Yeah, we studied those.
I
Skip.
skipped.
But I like the test. Josh, who are you going to say surprised you?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Chloe. I think like at the start of the game, she didn't seem like she fit in at all. With the Yellow Tribe, and somehow she made it to the end. I mean, props to her. Like I when I first saw her, I'm like, she's gonna go early just based on the vibes of the tribe. But she got through. I know she was probably a boot if Yellow lost, but yeah, I think she deserved probably one more vote than what she got. That'd be my sort of opinion. But
I'm really interested about Chloe. That's really good. What was fascinating for me when I got out of the game is seeing that the Chloe that I met on Melbourne Survivor is not anything like who Chloe is in real life. The way she, not just the way behaved, the way she dressed, like presented herself, completely different. Which Chloe did you meet in the interview? Did you meet this Chloe that's tats on the legs, pole dancing, or did you meet the reserved, shy girl that wasn't actually that person? Which one did you meet?
Yeah, full eyeliner, lashes, like black everything. Like we were like, oh yeah, she's got like a vibe.
Yeah.
That's cool. And then when she rocked up, I didn't recognize her, and I was like, who is this person hanging out with the cast? And
Also-
then we worked it out. I think a few people were confused, like, who is she? And then we worked out it was Chloe. Yeah.
Also, Chloe is a referral from Backyard. She applied to be Backyard, and then Carl and Brian sent her to our way.
I didn't know that. That's something I've learned today. Interesting. That's really good. I will say another thing that really stands up for this season, and this is my experience. And I think all of these shows these days have a pretty great crew behind them. But I remember being like really impressed with the crew on the whole, the people that were doing the filming, like Keegan, who was running the challenges. Chloe would have told Liz to play her idol on Backyard. There you go. The people that were filming me, I had Tara filming a lot of my stuff. She was fantastic. CM was at my camp as well. I remember I got a splinter at one point, and Chloe pulled it out with tweezers, but Ange came along with the tweezers and helped. So I just felt that like the whole time, the crew, the production was running really, really well. I know it's chaos when you're actually doing it, but as a crew, as a cast member, I felt the crew was really excellent. Seemed to be really like united. Like tempers will always flare up in the extreme of the nature of the day, but it seemed like the crew was really solid and really together and really all pulled their weight to get an outcome. Was this a crew that you were really proud of that you put together?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was just really cool seeing like the amount of people who were like down to help and keen to like get involved and like see what was going on and everything. We probably learnt a lot as well, like from having to navigate such a larger crew, like what we do differently, like how we would brief the crew as well going into it. And yeah, it probably paved the way for like a lot of even like spreading off into different LRGs and such, like an advice given to other people like starting up their own thing and things like that. Yeah, definitely like a learning experience, and like not everything went right all the time, and me and JP probably yelling at each other at certain points that I don't quite remember. But but I think overall we're just really like happy that so many people like got together And then watching all the footage and such, you're like, oh, that was a really cool like shot. And like this question asked was really great in his confessional and little things like that. So yeah.
Yeah, I
JP
must
got
say,
mad
like,
at you. So JP got mad at you, Liz. He wanted to throw me off the show.
you can't take
Yeah,
jackets
but I was
off
like-
eliminated players.
I think I was
And then I yelled at him, and he was upset that I yelled at him. I
Ah.
believe he was annoyed. I
You're
yelled.
just like,
at him.
I'm taking it anyway. And
CK,
Just
this
full on-
is a bit. JP actually cried after you yelled at him.
I did not
you-
cry. I did not cry.
Yeah, you did.
You're a liar.
You cried that day.
Let's
You're
give
a
some
liar.
context.
I can't
Let's give some
confirm.
context to what happened here. I had believed that my jacket had been lost when camps were swapped over or whatever, and I couldn't find it anymore, and I was blaming production. It was very, very cold, and so I went and got Annabelle's jacket. I was well aware of the strategic advantage of taking Annabelle's jacket when she was out of the game, because that's when Kate realized that I wasn't completely full of shit about being with Annabelle. Because why would Annabelle give me her jacket if I wasn't, like, when she's out of the game? Why would she ever do that if she wasn't actually my friend?
I don't think.
Now, and JP felt this, and he was absolutely right to
Well, I don't
say
think
that
we,
jacket could come off.
understood the strategy or anything. We were just like, who does this
JP
man
got
think he is?
I knew exactly what
This is
CK
not a
was doing.
hotel. This is Survivor.
He was-
I knew exactly what CK was doing. Nobody listened to me.
Wait,
He was right.
CK, did you find your jacket at the end?
Yeah. It was.
Or has
a
it been
camp
like-
somewhere.
Yeah,
I found it.
I said my whole thought process was why should we give something to someone who's lost their, like, if somebody on the island lost their shoes in the fire, they're not giving them new shoes. They're just like, deal with it, bad luck.
But we're
We-
better
we-
than the real show.
But we
No,
wanted to
but we
give the
could've-
proper authentic
We
experience.
care about
Liz.
people. We don't exploit them.
We could have CK asking, "Can I have your jacket, Annabelle?"
Yeah.
It was. So I would, and then I did yell at JP. I got a bit aggressive, so I would like to apologize for yelling at him because he was in the right. He was in the right.
I can live again now. That's been 5 years, way too long for the apology.
And
But that's
and I'm
okay.
not just saying that because apparently I made you cry. Like, I am sorry.
I did not cry.
if you cried or not cry. I'm sorry either way because you were right, JP. You were right, and I was in the wrong. That's what I would say. Big words here on the ORCA Pod.
The production, it was messy at sometimes, and I'm glad as a player you didn't see that, because that was the experience I wanted to give everyone when they were playing the game, that everything's all good, nothing's going wrong.
Yeah, we didn't see it. We only saw sometimes we had to wait a lot longer than it felt like we should wait. But other than that, like, it didn't feel like, that tension. Like, I'm sure, we could expect people were running hot, tensions running hot, whatever. But it just seemed like everyone was still working together, getting it done. Was working hard to get the outcome, working with each other. And yeah, the only other things that seemed like not smooth were the waiting times. And if that's all that people see, then I think that's a good outcome.
I also want to say, like, we learned from that experience, and I don't want to pluck the upcoming season, so we definitely fixed that. That sort of little things that we can tweak around, and we've definitely fixed that. So, yeah, it's a learning curve.
Yeah, none of us
So,
have
I
done
guess that's
film before. Sorry. Yeah, no one's done film here. I don't think that we had on the crew. Nobody had done film. So
Yeah.
Nah, surely someone.
no, not in this season. Uncharted
Not in high
Waters,
school,
yeah.
Does that count?
I sold cameras.
I think-
like
Yeah, true. Yeah.
I think we should also give some special credit to Liz, who edited, 90% of this season. I don't know if that's right. Like, Ma did the merge, and I did a challenge, and Laurel did some challenges, and Shelley, who we're going to see on Melbourne 4, did some of the previously ons and things like that. But Liz, and I think Tara did episode 2. I just want to make sure I'm covering everyone that did do something. But Liz did, like, maybe that takes it down to 85% of the editing of this season. And I love the edit. I love the story that's told. I'm a big advocate of not needing. Look, I love you, Carl and Brian, but sometimes your episodes don't need to be an hour long or an hour 10 minutes long. Like it's just long sometimes. You know what? American Survivor doesn't need to be an hour and a half, 2 hours long either. Like it's too long. And I just feel like even though I would have liked more scenes of me in this season, and so if there was more episodes, if they were longer, then there would be more me. I actually feel the length of these episodes is very digestible for the LRG audience. And while I might watch all of them, there's a lot of people, you know, even Laurel and Caitlin and Annabelle on the Tea Party last week were saying they just fast forward to their own bits, right? There's a lot of people that won't sit through the whole episode. So sometimes a digestible length is the better outcome, but you still told an excellent story in those episode lengths. And so I want to congratulate you on what is, you know, a really well edited season and a really great story that's told.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm very grateful to everyone who like chipped in, especially yourself, like editing your own season and Laurel. Like yeah, I think that's huge, and it really helped, especially with because I think I gave you all the challenges and I was like, oh, I want to edit this one. This one looks like a pain. And you were like, I'll do it.
I was just happy to help. But you did, and I love the way you work, because you know we had a tense conversation about trying to get on the same headspace, and to me it was inconceivable that you hadn't started. But your whole way of working is you start and then you give yourself a challenge and a deadline by saying I'm going to release this in a week, and you'll get it done in that week. And that's how you do it, right? and some people will go, no, I need to take the time and plan it out and do it all over and have it all ready to go. But that worked for you, and the outcome, the product, is excellent. So whatever works for you, when you deliver an outcome and a product that excellent, who cares? It was excellent. So I love what you put out. I thought it was such a good season editing-wise.
Thank you. Yeah, I've since been diagnosed with ADHD, which will make a lot of sense to a lot of people who have worked with me. But it's not every way of working works the same for everyone, I guess, and finding what works for you is good. You get into that zone and everything.
Until you've tried to edit, I've only edited challenges, right? But until you've edited these things, you cannot appreciate the amount of time it takes. And it's not so much the editing and putting together, but it's all the footage and having to filter through that footage and go, is there a better shot? Is there a better confessional I haven't put in? Is there a better part that I could be putting in to make this better without, you know, so much. Shout
out to Ash as well, who like sorted a whole lot of the footage. My husband Dylan Dylan was there, but Liam sorted all the footage off the drive.
Yeah, how many brownie points did you need to cash in for that? Because I remember when I got voted out, going into the Ponderosa where the Liam was managing like 20 computers and there's just fucking shit everywhere, and he looked so stressed out, and all he did the entire weekend was sit in that room and like, you know, do data on computers. Like it looked like a horrible job. How many brownie points did you need to cash in for that?
A lot. Yeah, the next time that he crewed, he was the lunch lady, and he was like, "This is fantastic. This is where I belong."
Yeah, data wrangling is no joke. That's no joke. I did in Uncharted Waters, and
It was like, you know, last time we did this, we've been dating 2 weeks, and I got to play, and I wore fruit on my like head, and like I was having a great time, and now I'm stuck here behind these computers for 3 days. This is what I signed up for.
For real. I was also gonna say, Ash, like editing all the promos. It was great. All the with all the songs and everything, it really like built up all the hype. I loved discussing what song do I use? Are you using for this one? And like CK having like Toxic, the slowed down version, was like epic.
No one has ever made such incredible meet the cast videos that Ash made for Play with Fire. They are like the elitist tier there is, the song choices, the effort that went into them. I remember receiving it. I received a draft because they wanted to, Ash or you or whoever wanted to check I was fine with it and the song and whatever. And I remember looking at it going, oh my God, this is the fucking greatest thing I've ever seen. And I messaged Annabelle and Max. I'm like, I got my video. It is unbelievably good. Like, the quality of this is insane. And I sent it to them and they were like, what the fuck? Like, this is unbelievable. So Ash deserves so much credit for that. They are super high quality. Like, no shade on what's been done with the Playing with Fire or the Uncharted Waters ones. Like, they're solid, they're good. You meet the characters, all that sort of stuff. But the work that went into those to scour the season for all this great footage, the fire on my face, to find the right song, that would have been so much work, and the quality was so high. Real big claps for Ash.
For real.
Mel was disappointed that you're not in your pirate getup. Well, you'll be seeing that this Saturday, Mel.
Yeah.
Are you going to wear the pirate getup to the movie cinema?
I should, shouldn't I?
Yes. Everyone loves Pirate Liz. Well, she's frozen now. Look, I think, you guys got anything else you want to talk about with Playing with Fire? To wrap it up.
I just want to say thank you to everyone that participated and was on the crew and played the game and helped edit. Without everybody, we wouldn't have had nowhere near a greater season as we did. It was a really fun time that I had. Very sore afterwards. And it was fun, Vince. Don't give me that look.
I would advise Josh not to party the day before we film, but that's
Are we hungover?
hopefully.
We got
he
really
was.
drunk the day before, yeah.
That's a mistake. That's an incredible mistake. What were you thinking?
And then he hurt his back, and he just being a very rebellious.
I wasn't a good worker. Like, I wasn't a good boy. But that's okay. I got through it, and we had fun.
The fact that you did 2 days of the hard work, hungover and with a bad back, that's good. Like, at the end of the day, you made a poor decision, but you can either just complain about it and not do the job, or you can suck it up and get out there. And that's what you did, right? So congrats for that.
Yeah. Thank you.
He could have given us 100%, but he's giving us 80. So that's the 80%, Josh, that we're getting that day.
Okay, that's rude.
Any final words
joking.
from you, Liz, about Playing with Fire? You muted.
Final
There you go.
words.
Yeah.
We've been voted out.
Your final
Good
words.
luck to
about
everyone
Playing-
still in the game.
So,
Are you
I'll say
asking me specifically? Sorry.
Yeah. We're finishing.
Oh,
We're finishing
okay.
up. What do you want to say about playing? Wrap it up.
Sorry,
About Playing with
yeah.
Fire. All good.
Yeah, I'm just really grateful that it happened and for everyone involved and the community that kept kind of spawning out of it. And yeah, I hope if you haven't watched it, just go watch it. Yeah, because if you play a trial game or something, we'll often put in a little quiz about past Melbourne Survivor seasons. So
Love it.
yeah, and we always judge you really hard if you're not able to answer those questions. Yeah. Yeah, but go watch. Holds up.
Thank you.
Especially if you like heroes and villains and the drama and the heartache and all the emotion and such.
And
It's
some
a really good
bad
season
twists.
for that.
I want to, I think it's a great way to sum it up, Liz. I want to thank the three of you for making this season, for casting me on it. I'm going to go a big applause here for everything that you did to make this season happen. Huge congratulations to the three of you of winning the number one season, putting it together, for being the ones responsible for the number one season. And I say again, if it wasn't for the three of you, obviously, I wouldn't be here doing this podcast because I wouldn't have been cast. But I've said before that when I got cast, I had an idea about doing a podcast about these LRGs and really like taking it to a really big level where I'm really trying to do all the stuff that I do with the awards and the live shows and the music and everything that I've got going now. That was my grand plan. And the two of you, Josh and Vince, set me on my plan. You brought me into the podcast that you were doing at the time. You then said, hey, do you want to do South Africa? I didn't really get why I was doing South Africa and LRG because it's a real season. But I'm like, whatever, you know what? Like, yes, I'll do this. It'll help me meet those people in the LRG. It'll help me network with them, and then I can do my own thing. And now I've left them and now just doing my own thing fully. But you guys, Vince and Josh, you gave me the stepping stone and the opportunity, opened the door to let me come and do this podcasting and get to where I am. So I have the most utmost gratitude to you both for you helping me out and helping me get here with that.
Thank you. I don't know what else to say.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So,
to be honest, we really just needed a person to join the podcast. I'll be honest, but thank you.
No, I value it. So for those that know, as I mentioned, we do have our own show now. We have our own YouTube. We podcast to our own Facebook, and so we also have. It comes on podcast form. You can find it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. But if you don't already, please like and subscribe on our show, Vince, it's covering your face, so that you can get all of the coverage when you know it's coming. Like and subscribe. And for all those lucky ducks that are going to be in Melbourne for Uncharted Water, the live cinematic premiere, I am so jealous. I'll be watching it live on the interwebs when it comes out. I am so excited. I'm sure you're all excited. Of course, tomorrow night, we are starting our coverage of Uncharted Waters. So for those, there's a bit of confusion about what our coverage is going to be, because obviously Danny and Jules are on the season and they are normally my partners in crime. And obviously I'm spoiled, fully spoiled. I was there. I was part of the production crew with all these fine people. So I know what happened. But I will still be there. I won't be giving anything away. And I'll be doing a pure actual hosting job where I ask people questions and not just give my own views all the time. It's going to be a really interesting introspective for myself to actually host and not just talk about myself and love the sound of my voice. And that's why I have three enormous personalities on the show for the coverage, so that I can feel fine with not saying anything of real note and only just asking them questions. Joining me, for those that aren't aware, we actually now, because I just won the Bromilow Medalist, they are the four most recent Bromilow Medalists, 4 orcas, coming on, talking about Uncharted Waters, myself hosting with Josh O'Brien, with Loz from Canberra versus the World, and the bounty hunter himself, Mark, will be there live every week. Tomorrow we are drafting. The People's Champion will be selected. You have to watch for my. I'm okay at poker. My poker faces can be very important, because when it spins up the People's Champion, I'm gonna know whether I'm coughing up the 1,000 wing wangs or not. Right? I know who comes first to fifth. So I will have zero reaction. Maybe I'll just turn off the camera for that, just in case, because I don't want to spoil anything. But we'll be doing a People's Champion. The draft will happen tomorrow night live. Be there. I hope everyone that's in Uncharted Waters, I hope you're there. We want to be getting into this amazing season and doing some amazing coverage. We'll have it all. We'll be doing the boot interviews. Twelsh will be back. The quiz will be back. Everything's going to be back. It's such an exciting time. Thank you, all three of you, for coming on and for what you did. And congratulations on Uncharted Waters. I know it's going to be really, really exciting for everyone. And until tomorrow, we shall dance.